Okay, thank you for coming today, everybody. My name's Kristina Alaniz, and I'm very proud to be the walk manager for this year. Thank you. That's all for you guys too. Thank you for being here. We're very excited to have everybody today. Thank you for withstanding the heat in advance. We know that it can be a little bit more challenging to be out here, but it is for an important cause, and so we appreciate your presence and your support. It is my privilege and honor to introduce our first speaker who will be saying our prayer. He's a very dear friend of mine. Please welcome Rabbi Hugh Seid-Valencia.
Thank you, Kristina. It's an honor and privilege to be with you all. I am here to offer a prayer for those in our community who have lost their lives in their struggle with mental illness in the last year. In his memoir, Tuesdays with Maury, author Mitch Albom quotes Maury Schwartz saying, "Death ends life, not a relationship. All the love you created is still here. All the memories are still there. You live on in the hearts of everyone you have touched and nurtured while you were here." In Judaism, we say of the dead, may their memory be for a blessing. While walking on the path of grief, it can help to look for the blessings left by our loved ones. As I chant El Malei Rachamim, the prayer for the dead in my tradition in Hebrew, I encourage you to use this container to consider, how will we remember our loved ones? What can we do to enable their memory to be a blessing for us and for our circles? And I'm going to chant the prayer in Hebrew with the sense that the words contain more meaning than a simple translation would encapsulate. So I'm going to invite you to rise, those of you who are able and willing to rise for this prayer. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hametzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, B'malot Kedoshim U'Toarim, Kezohar Harakia Mazhiri, Et Nishmot Kol HaNiftarim B'Kihila Shelanu, She'alchu Le'olamav, Began Eden Tehei Menuchatam, Ana Bal Harachamim, Yastirehem beseter knafecha leolamim. Uvitzror achayim et nishmatam. Adonai unachalatam. Ve'yanuchu al mishkavam. B'shalom. V'nomar. Amen. God, who is full of mercy and dwells on high, provide a true rest on the wings of the divine presence amongst the holy and pure ones who shine as brightly as the brilliance of the sky to the souls of those in our community who lost their lives in their struggle with mental illness in the last year, who have gone on to their eternity. May the Garden of Eden be their resting place. We beseech the Merciful One to shade them forever with divine wings and to bind their soul up in the bonds of life. God is their heritage, and they shall rest peacefully on her bed. And let us say, Amen.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at our 9th NAMIWalks Silicon Valley. I'm so honored to stand before you today as we come together to walk for mental health and break the stigma that surrounds it. This event is incredibly special because NAMIWalks Silicon Valley is one of the top NAMI walks in the country. That's because of you, our community. It's your dedication, your passion, and your courage that makes it possible today. I want to start by thanking each and every one of you, our team captains, participants, sponsors, our volunteers, our donors, and our supporters. You all took time out of your busy lives to be here today, to raise funds, and to walk in solidarity with those affected by mental health challenges. Every step we take together is a step closer to creating a world where no one feels alone in their mental health journey. We know that the fight against stigma, fear, and misunderstanding is a long one, but together we are making strides. Now, I want to talk a bit about why we are here today, beyond just walking. We are here because mental health is something that affects all of us, whether it's a personal experience, a family member, or a friend. Mental health challenges are part of a shared human experience. Yet despite how common mental health struggles are, stigma continues to be a major barrier to seeking help. Too many people still feel ashamed or afraid to talk about our mental health. Too many people still suffer in silence because they worry about how they'll be judged or misunderstood. This is why the work we are doing today is so important. By walking together, by showing up in such a visible and public way, we are sending a message to our community that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. And no one should have to face mental health challenges alone. Advocacy is at the heart of what we do at NAMI Santa Clara County. We advocate for better access to mental health services, for early intervention, for crisis care that doesn't involve handcuffs and police intervention. We advocate for education and support for families because we know that mental health impacts not just individuals, but the entire community. And we advocate for policies that recognize mental health as a priority because we believe that change starts with awareness, but is sustained through action. Today, you're not just walking, you're advocating. You're raising funds that will help us continue offering our free support groups, educational programs, and advocacy efforts. The money that we raise today will allow us to reach even more people in need, to offer them hope and to remind them that they are not alone. Your presence here today is helping to change the narrative around mental health. It's helping to show that there is a community ready to listen, to support, and to stand up against stigma. And for that, I cannot thank you enough. But our work doesn't stop here when the walk ends. As we leave here, let's take this message of NAMI walks with us into our daily lives. Let's continue talking openly about mental health. Let's keep advocating for those who can't advocate for themselves. And let's reach out to someone who might be struggling and remind them that help is available. Together, we can create a world where mental health is treated with compassion and urgency it deserves. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today, for raising funds, and for walking with us. You're making a difference in the lives of so many people in the community. Let's keep moving forward together, one step at a time, towards a future where mental health is understood, supported, and free from stigma. Let's make this the best NAMIWalks Silicon Valley yet. Thank you so much. And now, thank you. And now I would like to invite Uday Kapoor, Board President of NAMI Santa Clara County.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Sorry about the day, it's so hot. We were hoping that it'll be a better day, but at least we're not flooded. We really feel sorry for the folks in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, wherever the floods are hitting. But anyway, I am Uday Kapoor. I'm the NAMI Santa Clara County Board President. Sincere welcome to all. I want to thank you for joining us on your precious weekend for our 9th NAMI Walk. We have a terrific turnout in spite of the weather. And again, I want to thank you for coming. We have a great program today. This is such an important event because it brings together so many of us, community leaders, families, friends, neighbors, acquaintances, who have been touched by someone we love or know with a mental health condition. The walk gives us an opportunity to show our support and stand up for those with mental illness. Today, we walk as one to help destigmatize, decriminalize, and educate the community about this disease. We walk to make our community aware of our ongoing fight to improve the lives of those struggling with mental health challenges. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have supported us over the years with your time and donations. A special thanks to our distinguished guests, our sponsors, our outstanding Executive Director, Rovina Nimbalkar, our staff and volunteers for putting this event together. I also want to recognize my stellar colleagues, our board members, who have been doing amazing advocacy work for the vulnerable and the voiceless community. And wherever you are, could you please raise your hand or stand, all the board members. Our walk gives me an opportunity to tell you about the work we have been doing this year to strengthen our presence on a local and state level as we aim to improve mental health services and awareness for families. It has been 3 years since Santa Clara County declared a mental health and substance use public health crisis. Since then, NAMI has been actively making sure that the hundreds of families caring for their loved ones with mental illness are being heard by local and state officials as well as health providers. Finding a quality care, doctors, therapists continues to be a challenge as the need for mental health services grows exponentially. Changing this situation means we need to raise our voices and educate the community and public officials that the situation remains dire. Because of our stand and protests at the closing of the 18 acute care psychiatric beds in Mission Oaks and the tireless efforts of our board members, legislation was introduced to require more transparency for private hospital owners when they want to shut down critical services. And I want to really recognize one of our board members. Please stand. Here. Could you please stand? So, Frank Eliotto has played a signature role working with Dave Cortese's office to make this happen. And as of last week, the bill, SB 1300, was signed into law, and we are very, very happy for that. But again, that's not enough. We need to go further and find ways to restore the beds we lost. We are advocating for the county to add mental health resources at San Jose Regional Medical Center. This county, which is purchasing the hospital from HCA Healthcare, plans to restore a host of services that have been eliminated. We want to push for mental health services as well. As we look towards the future, NAMI Santa Clara County is determined to remain an unwavering voice in changing the way that those with mental illness are treated, but we still have much work to do. We want to provide our expertise through our lived experience to help youth and young adults who are still struggling with mental health issues from the fallouts of the pandemic. We can do this by collaborating with the Santa Clara County Office of Education, schools, and organizations in the mental health sector. We want to help develop a plan to increase the number of licensed homes and change the horrible conditions in the unlicensed board and care for facilities where our loved ones are often forced to live due to a lack of quality supportive services and independent living homes. And this is something that I have been personally involved with. So it's a very big challenge. We also plan to be a voice in the ear of state legislators who are seeking to improve the shortage of supportive services and beds in our state and county. We want to push mental health care to the forefront in Sacramento. As you know, at the end of this year, we have a care court being implemented in our county. As I look around and see this amazing crowd, I'm confident our advocacy will only grow stronger. Thank you. We are in a unique moment in time. Mental illness has finally become part of the conversation at schools, at work, and in the home. We need to keep that dialogue going and take advantage of this movement. Again, I want to thank you all for being here and showing your support. Thank you so much. So now at this time, I would like to introduce our honored chair, Dr. Anna Lembke. Dr. Lembke is professor of psychiatry at Stanford University School of Medicine and chief of the Stanford Addiction Medicine Dual Diagnosis Clinic. A clinician scholar, she's the author of more than 100 peer-reviewed publications. Amazing. And has testified before the United States House of Representatives and the Senate, has served as an expert witness in federal and state opioid litigation, and is an internationally recognized leader in addiction medicine, treatment, and education. She has had lots of publications. Her latest book, Dopamine Nation, Finding Balance in the Age of Indulgence, was an instant New York Times and LA Times bestseller and has been translated into 35 languages. It combines the neuroscience of addiction with the wisdom of recovery to explore the problem of compulsive overconsumption in a dopamine overloaded world. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Lembke.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to see all of your bright and smiling faces. This is going to be a hot day, but it's going to be a great day, and it is so spectacular to come together with you and really celebrate mental wellness and celebrate all of you and really kind of highlight this very important topic. I'd like you to raise your hand if you have been helped directly or indirectly by NAMI. So lots of hands, that's awesome. I'd like you to raise your hand if you've been able to help someone else directly or indirectly through NAMI. Yeah, so lots of hands. So for me, NAMI is a really special and vital organization. I have been practicing psychiatry for more than 30 years, and there's probably not a week that goes by when I don't say to a patient, you should check out NAMI. Woo! Yes, that's right. Why is NAMI so vital? Well, first of all, let me just talk a little bit about the perspective of the clinician. We see folks in a little tiny moment of time. And based on that little tiny moment of time, we prescribe medication, we do psychotherapy, We try to link them to other care. But when they leave their office, they have the whole rest of their lives. And we are not there for them. And we are the first people to recognize that. So the family matters. Organizations like NAMI that support families matter. When families first get the diagnosis, especially if it's a diagnosis of severe mental illness, it can be overwhelming and devastating and confusing, especially in our dysfunctional healthcare system. NAMI is a source of education, it's a source of support, and it destigmatizes this event for families and for patients. So it's super, super important. The other thing that I would say is that over the course of my career, I have opened my door, that is to say my clinical office door, more and more to families coming in to their appointments together with patients, because I realize, again, that what I can do is so small compared to the systemic issues that people with mental illness face. So by bringing in families and educating families, letting families educate us about how their loved one is doing, we can create so much better care. So I would really encourage you, as advocates, because everybody here is an advocate, right? I would encourage you to advocate for your loved one in the healthcare system with their clinical providers. I know it can be intimidating, or we can sometimes feel shy about talking to our loved one's clinician, but all I can tell you is that is such important information. It's information that allows us to provide better care. And when you think about the HIPAA compliance laws, HIPAA compliance means that I can't necessarily talk to families if I don't have a release from the patient, but families can always give me information. So you can call your loved one's clinician and say, hey, this is what's going on right now, even if they don't have a release of information to talk to you. So that's just my little, hopefully, bit of advice that you can take with you. I'm amazed by all of you. I admire all of you. And I guess I'm just going to conclude this very brief speech, such as it is, with saying, give me an N. A. Give me an A. Give me an M. Give me an I. What does it spell? NAMI! Woo! Thanks, everybody.
Now we would like to have our keynote speaker, Dr. Marianne Dewan, talk to us. Dr. Dewan is a celebrated statewide leader in inclusive education, has dedicated 37 years to public education. Recognized for her youth-focused work and commitment to serving the community, Dr. Dewan is passionate about diversity, inclusion, and social justice. She strives to promote equity-focused system change at local, county, and state levels. Dr. Dewan participates in nonpartisan advocacy to guide education policy and funding in early learning, mental health, and special education. Leveraging youth voice, platforms, and partnerships, Dr. Dewan improves equity and access to high-quality education to support all learners. Again, welcome.
Thank you so much, Uday, for the introduction, and thank you all for being here on a Saturday morning. It is so incredibly hopeful and inspiring to look around the lawn and the patio and across the tents to see so many of you here. I want to start by thanking NAMI, the NAMI board, and all the volunteers for being here and for making this possible. If we could give a rousing round of applause to them. I am really proud to be here with all of you this morning. As an education leader, a community leader, and also a member of the board of Palo Alto University. I want to give a big hello and thank you to Supervisor Cindy Chavez for being here today as well. And for Supervisor Chavez's tireless leadership, serving as a champion for youth, and her deep commitment to partnership that has made so many things possible for children and youth and advancing and improving the lives of all of us in Santa Clara County. Thank you, Supervisor Chavez. I want to thank all of you for being here today and for participating in the NAMI Walk. It is through events like this that we are able to raise awareness and create a safe space to talk about things that are really important to us, things that we're experiencing individually or with our families. This is a true opportunity to raise awareness, to tell stories, to remember, and to reflect. Today, we're talking about mental health. And this is a matter that I believe affects each and every one of us. Our mental health and well-being influences our daily lives, our relationships, our work, and our learning. And when our families are impacted by individuals who may be struggling, it takes a lot of energy, support, compassion, and hope. Mental well-being is not merely the absence of mental illness, but the presence of positive mental health. And it includes how we feel about ourselves, how we handle stress, and how we relate to others. Good mental health allows us to thrive, to face challenges with resilience, and to enjoy life. As a parent, an educator, and education leader, I see firsthand every day how young people and families are impacted. Consider the pressures that young people face and how it impacts their mental health today. Academic stresses, social challenges, social media, family dynamics, things on the news. Adolescence, in particular, is a time of significant change and development where young people face pressures that impact them. And according to recent studies, mental health issues among youth are on the rise, with increased reports of anxiety, depression, and other emotional struggles. A recognition that has been made by public education, by our Board of Supervisors and others, a crisis that started before the pandemic and persists today. This rising tide of mental health challenges underscores the need for proactive measures within our schools and communities, and it raises the importance of organizations such as NAMI. On a recent visit to a wellness center in the Eastside Union High School District, a student shared their story with me of how their deep and persistent anxiety had been preventing them from attending school. They couldn't even get to the campus. The student noted how the school's new wellness center had played a key role in helping them with self-regulation, getting enough energy and persistence to make their way to school campus, equip them with a skill set that contributed to them eventually be able to attend school for a full day. As mental health touches each and every one of us, it's so inspiring to see young people exercising their voices and agency and persisting and becoming resilient. Our Student Wellness Advisory Group, made up of young people across Santa Clara County, have brought significant voice to tell us as adults what they need in their schools. Youth feel strongly about having resources available to them, about removing stigma from our conversations, about learning healthy habits to deal with anxieties and pressures, and the importance of their peers in that work as well. One of the most urgent aspects in my mind of mental health is suicide prevention. Every loss is a profound tragedy. We need to be vigilant to provide support and create environments where individuals, especially our young people, feel safe to express their struggles. Early intervention and access to appropriate resources can save lives, and they do every single day. And they offer hope to those in need. Sadly, however, suicide has impacted so many, Many of us either have lived experience with a loved one or know someone who has been. In fact, part of the reason I am here today is to walk in honor of our son. Our family lost our son to suicide, and there isn't a day that goes by where he isn't in our thoughts, where I think about what more we can do to support our community and our young people, and to prevent anyone from having to endure this deep and profound loss. Removing the stigma surrounding mental health, I believe, is one of the most profound ways we can do that. By addressing this and advancing mental health effectively, we can save lives. Stigma prevents people from seeking help. It causes young people to fear judgment or to be misunderstood. And it can cause others to underestimate the need or the value of help. So by fostering an environment of openness and acceptance, we encourage those who are struggling to come forward, to seek support and engage in their own healing process. And I believe education is key, as is coming together in community. Together, we can educate about mental health, about tools and strategies for our own mental health as we do for physical health, and share resources. Seeking help is a strength, not a weakness. One of the most impactful ways that youth are finding support and are advancing efforts to destigmatize mental health is through the work happening in our schools to establish student wellness centers. These wellness centers offer students a safe space where they can drop in, develop a sense of community, access health resources and information, and if needed, find counseling services and support. They offer a holistic approach to student well-being, integrating mental health services with academic and social support. They're proactive prevention programs, workshops, and activities that promote emotional health and resilience. Recently, while visiting a wellness center on an elementary school campus, a veteran elementary school teacher shared with me that they had considered leaving the teaching profession altogether. They loved their work, but the stress of the student trauma experiences that students were having outside the classroom was overwhelming to the teacher. They were overwhelmed trying to support the student needs and also their instruction. A wellness center opened mid-year on this teacher's campus, and the teacher shared with me that the positive effects of that wellness center were felt immediately. And because of that, she told me she had decided to remain in her loved profession because she felt heard, seen, and supported in a way that was allowing her to support her students. The support of the wellness center allowed her students the immediate needs to be met. Addressing mental health is not the responsibility of a single person, individual, agency. It is our collective endeavor. And it requires the active involvement of educators, parents, mental health professionals, and the community. This past legislative session, Senator Wahab partnered with us to pass Senate Bill 1318 to prioritize mental health supports in school site safety plans in response to a mental health crisis by prioritizing mental health over a law enforcement response. That is incredible policy change. By working together, we create a supportive network that empowers our youth and empowers each other. As we move forward, let us commit to fostering environments where mental health is being prioritized, where there is no stigma, it is replaced with understanding, welcoming, and belonging, and where every student has access to the things that they need. where our students can learn to be persistent, resilient, and dedicated. We can never give up. So many of us have had to fight, to work hard to get the help that is needed. I stand with all of you. We can never give up on doing what's right. We can never give up to speak up and to advance the things that matter to us all. So I thank you for your dedication, your compassion, your commitment to improving the mental health of our students and community. Together, we make a profound difference in the lives of young people, ensuring that every student not only dreams of a brighter future, but is equipped to achieve it. Thank you again, NAMI, for all you do for all of us. And as I walk today, I will hold our lost son in my heart and all the children of Santa Clara County, such that they will have the hope, wellness, and joy that they deserve. And I remain committed to this community. Thank you all.
And now, gives me profound joy, and I'm so proud to introduce somebody that you all know so well, Supervisor Cindy Chavez. I just want to say a few words. I don't have any prepared speeches. I've known Cindy for a very long time, and we love her, we admire her, and Supervisor Ellenberg recently called her an unparalleled leader. And her influence on the county and the lives of people here in all spheres, whether it's housing or transportation or health, has been amazing. And it is sad to, and also we are happy for her to see her leave and move to New Mexico, her native land where she grew up. So the other thing I forgot to mention last time when I introduced her was how fearless she is and how much courage she has. How many people know that she rappelled down the Adobe building?
So I am really, really excited to be here today. And Uday is an amazing, persistent, loving change maker. So NAMI is so blessed to have you at the helm, truly. And I wanted to just say something about my dear friend, Dr. Marianne Dewan. You know, she's had a pretty rough week if you've been reading the news. And the fact that she came out today just speaks volumes about the fact that when somebody needs to be stood up for, she stands up. And she's doing it for her son. But I have to tell you, knowing her well as I do, she does that for every child under any condition. That woman will not leave a stone unturned if it can lift up a child in our community. Marianne, you are an amazing leader. Thank you for being here today, and somebody who I aspire to be when I grow up. I wanted to just say a couple things. I know you all are ready to walk, and I sort of weaseled my way in here. My last day of serving the county and the residents of Santa Clara County will be November 12th. I will begin my work as the Chief Executive Officer of Bernalillo County on November 13th. And I didn't want to leave too early because I want to make sure we have somebody really good in my seat. But the reason I'm telling you all of that is Uday mentioned something really profound about the closure of regional medical center. The reduction of services. So they were closing a number of services, but that hospital is owned by the Healthcare Corporation of America. It is the most profitable healthcare institution in the United States. And the reason the county is buying regional medical center is because we cannot have this private sector entity dismantle the health infrastructure of our entire county, but particular for those that are hardest to serve. And I just want to give one example. In addition to the Healthcare Corporation of America closing down those 18 beds with almost no notice to the public, they began removing the level 2, in fact they did, the level 2 trauma center at Regional Medical Center. They removed the the stroke services, and 30% of all patients who present with a stroke are present at Regional Medical Center. So the county didn't have an option. We either were going to watch them dismantle themselves slowly, or we were going to lean in and do what this community does, which is we rally around, particularly around health. The reason I point this out is as the Healthcare Corporation of America is looking to rebuild Good Sam at the same location, they could include those 18 beds. The county is going to continue to expand our services. They should too. We should demand every single insurer and every single healthcare institution to lean in on this issue and protect the health and well-being of the community. And they're not doing it, but you could make a difference. And let me tell you how. They're going to go before the City Council of San Jose to get permits, and I don't know what other changes they need, but you could send in a letter. You could call in and you could say, fine, we're going to let them invest as they should, but they need to rebuild those beds, because those beds missing, it doesn't matter if the county builds 100. It could have been 118. Why wouldn't we want those beds? So I'm asking for NAMI's ferocity, your tenacity, and your leadership to say, on our watch, this county will demonstrate as a region that we care for every part of people's health here, in particular mental health, as we know this is a crisis in our community. So I'm honored to be with you. I love NAMI. NAMI's been telling me what to do for many, many years. And I've been really just pleased to have you as a partner. You do great work. You love families when they're feeling at their lowest. You lift them up, you wrap your arms around them, and I couldn't be more grateful. So congratulations. Thank you everybody who's walking today, for all the volunteers and everybody who's giving money. Your money is well spent. Thank you.
Okay, so now I would like to welcome our presenting sponsors, the Mitchums, John and Ginny Mitchums. John and Ginny are not only our presenting sponsors, but also team captains of the Weekend Walkers, which is one of the top teams today, and they have been doing this for years. So over to you, both of you, John and Ginny.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? All right. Okay, we are so happy to be here once again with all of you, even though, yes, it's a little warmer than we'd planned. We are delighted to sponsor NAMI Santa Clara Silicon Valley Walk and to welcome our Weekend Walkers team, yay! And all of you and your teams back for another year. Here are 5 things John and I love about this day, and we hope you will too. Number 1, a beautiful location here in the San Jose History Park. Number 2, a chance to exercise together, even though not with our usual choice of 3 miles versus today's 1 mile. Time with friends, family, classmates, fellow volunteers, NAMI staff, new friends, and 4-legged walkers like Molly, our grand dog, over there in the shade. A chance, number 4, a chance to celebrate with our fellow sponsors and providers. And so important about today, we are all in this together. We do this together in a wonderful community called NAMI Santa Clara County. Thank you all. Enjoy. And now, John, your turn.
To all of you here who have a mental illness, I have one thing to say. And I say it to your friends and families and to your professional providers. And that is, never give up. Meds are steadily getting better. Other therapies are improving. The public is getting more understanding of mental illness and are thus demanding better care for our community. So things are getting better and will continue to improve. So to everyone here, never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. Thank you.
Hello once again. Okay, we are getting close. So we hope you're enjoying this wonderful event. And firstly, I would like to thank our team captains, participants, and volunteers. Your commitment to mental health has been instrumental in making NAMIWalks Silicon Valley a reality. Please, all team captains, may you please stand or raise your hands so we all can see you. A round of applause for everyone here. Team captains, a round of applause to the top teams. Team Families of Vision, raise your hands. Team Weekend Walkers, there we are. Team Price Middle School. Team Forward, there we are. And Team Saturday School. Thank you, top teams. Congratulations to all our walk stars. Walk stars are those who shine the brightest amongst all stars. Walk stars raise over $1,000 for mental health awareness. And if you're a walk star, please pick your pins from the registration tables. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to our top fundraisers, Shagufta Alawi, Lakshmi Rao, Ginny Mitchum, Harold Brown, and Celia Chu. Thank you to all our volunteers who are helping us today and who also help us throughout the year. Without your work, our work is not impossible. Thank you to all the NAMI Santa Clara County staff members. Our programs are possible only because of your dedication, your passion to mental health. Thank you. And thanks to our board members who advocate for mental health rights in Santa Clara County and are pillar to NAMI Santa Clara County. Thank you to all our sponsors. Without your support, this event would not be possible. Thank you to our NAMIWalks committee members, Harold Brown, Ginny Mitchum, Donna Mechanic, Barbara Thompson, John and Kathy Forward, Tiffany Austin, Stacy Bebo, Mahendra Prabhu, Shilpa Mehellade, Jillian Yang, and Kristina Alaniz. You are all incredible, and your hard work does not go unnoticed. You're truly the rock of this event, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you to our community sponsorship committee, Brian Austin, Sean Bridges, Grace Salisbury, Barbara Thompson, Delisha Reiter, James Campbell, Jillian Yang. Thank you so much. And finally, thank you to Kristina. Kristina has been working so hard to put this event together. So before I begin with the countdown, we are going to do a very quick warm-up. I know you guys are already feeling hot and warm, but we're going to do a very quick warm-up with Teresa Marchok from BoneSmart Pilates. Over to you, Teresa.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm owner of BoneSmart Pilates, and I'm a sponsor for this event. But even more important, I'm a member of the team, It Takes a Village. And we chose that name because supporting someone with mental illness requires a village. And we couldn't have done it without the support of NAMI, the resources, and the amazing volunteers in this organization. So thank you so much. Now everyone, get on up. We're gonna start with our legs wide. And take a breath up, in as you take the arms up. And breathe out as you bend your knees. Yes. And these are just feel-good stretches. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. One more. Inhale up. Touch the sky. Reach one and the other. One and the other. And float the arms down to your thighs and let's stretch. One shoulder forward. And other shoulder. Keeping your knees open. And change. And change. Stand up. Now let's do your hamstrings. Stand up and put your left leg out forward. Bend your right knee. Now do a little karate chop at your hips and stick your butt out as you keep your spine straight and stretch. Your hips are square and you should feel a stretch in the back of your straight leg. If your toes are up to the sky, you're going to feel the stretch in your calf too. Do you feel it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, I heard that. Let's change other side. Other foot. That's it. Now lift your heart, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Oh, there you go. Very nice. Wag your tail. Excellent. Stand up. Take a giant step forward with your left leg and have your legs about pelvis width apart so you're not on a tightrope, which would compromise your balance, but just hip width apart. Toes pointing straight ahead. Descend, bending both knees. Both knees bend, back heel is up. Now lift your pubic bone, drop your tailbone, and you'll feel the stretch in the front of your back thigh. Can you feel it? Good. Go a little deeper. And rise up. Let's change, other side. Bend both knees, tuck your pelvis, and that will take up the slack in front of your back hip. Can you feel it? Awesome, I love it. Stand up. Now just take one small step back and bend your back knee. Keeping the heel down, and you will feel your calf. Can you feel that? Yeah. Breathe into it. And change. And so back knee is bent, front leg is straight. Back heel is down. And come up. Last thing. Legs wide, toes point forward, and lean over, bend one knee. There you go. You're going to feel it in the inner thigh of your straight leg. Yep. Can you lift your heart as you do that? Yes. Change and over. Nice. Can you feel that? And stand up. All right, let's finish with a final deep breath. In. Arms up. Exhale, down. Arms up. Clasp your hands. Reach, reach, reach. And open your arms. Place your hands behind your back. And pat yourself for a job well done. Yay! Excellent, guys. Thank you. Have a great walk.
All right. Okay. So before I start the countdown, I do want to mention that when you finish, the walk. And just want to clarify that we don't have the long route, we just have the short route, so you guys will be done very fast. We have an amazing band called Night Owls, and we're gonna have food, and we have the store, the ice cream store, O'Brien's, open for you. So please do come back and enjoy the music and food and have some fun. Also, our NAMIWalks Silicon Valley fundraiser is open until December 5th, so 60 days after the walk, so you can continue raising funds. We are currently at 75% of our goal, so we're not too far off. So continue the fundraising. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so let's start the countdown. Count with me. 10, 9, 8,